story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Glad to have you again on CoreTV News on the hour. I am Frank Omalape. The federal government says relief items worth 500 million have been distributed to about 116,000 internally displaced persons in Yobe State. It said the assistance to victims of insurgents in the northeast was approved by Jonathan and was carried out by the Committee on Relief Procurement and Distribution. A statement from the National Emergency Management Agency revealed that the government had approved 1.5 billion for the special committee under the chairmanship of NEMA, while distributing the relief materials in Damaturu. The Director General, NEMA Sani Sidi, who doubles as the PCRP chairman, says the items were procured based on identified basic needs of the people. He said proper arrangements have been made to ensure the right distribution to the target beneficiaries, adding that the items will be distributed by members of staff of NEMA in collaboration with officials of the state government and across throughout the state. The city was represented by the agency's Director of Disaster Risk Reduction, Al-Hassan Nuh, says another consignment was in Gashua for easy distribution to the IDPs in the northeast area of the state. He said about 15,000 displaced persons were in Damaturu, while others were in various locations across the state. Yobe State Governor Ibrahim Gaidan, who was represented by his deputy Ali, assured that the state will cooperate with the government to address the security challenge and support the affected persons. The spate of crude oil theft in Nigeria has continued unabated, costing the country losses worth billions of naira. Industry watchers are worried that the amount of oil stolen daily could cripple the country's economy in the nearest future if not checked urgently. The Western Naval Command of the Nigerian Navy on Sunday raided the Majidi area of Ikorodu and Lagos, where thousands of 50-liter containers filled with petroleum products and stored in abandoned buildings in the area were intercepted. Our correspondent Matayo Alo went on a guided tour of the Majidi waterways and filed in this report.
The saying that every day is for the thief and one day for the owner played out against the masterminds of oil theft in Majidun community, Ikorodu, Lagos State. Thousands of 50-liter containers containing stolen petroleum products by pipeline vandals were intercepted on the Majidun waterways following tip-off. CoreTV News gathered that the well-stored product is set for illegal exportation. However, little did the suspected oil vendors know that their trail was about to be discovered by the Nigerian Navy, who deployed its men to sweep the area of all illegal activities. Officials of the Nigerian Navy also disclosed that some of the containers were found in abandoned houses in the community and some outlets built on water. With the magnitude of the illegal activities discovered in this area, it was an Operation No Movement for residents of Majidun, who said the operations of the naval officials started about 4 a.m. Kafayat Ibrahim, a resident of Majidun who was reluctant to speak initially, later disclosed the information at her disposal.
They say they put cake for there. No do. Now the thing we I know say they do not be down. They do am morning, they do afternoon. For even self they do. Now anytime they do.
Another resident, Abiodun Austin, said he was glad that government is finally rising up to its duties of nabbing vandals whom he described as enemies of the nation.
We don't have any power to conquer them, but when the government itself open eye and see what is going on, then we are free. It's not anybody that went to report them. It is the government that see them and know that they are really economic sabotage.
The flag officer commanding Nigerian Navy Western Command, Sami Alade, however, opted to give full details of the operation at a press brief that will soon be decided by him.
Two words to describe the activities taking place in this area is economic sabotage. These containers are actually some of the containers found on water. And you know what? There are still thousands and uncountable containers that the Nigerian Navy are still bringing back on land. And you know what? They were found because some of the economic destroyers of the country actually use these containers to export oil to God knows where. But the Nigerian Navy rise up to this challenge. It's expected the Nigerians begin to get into activities that would build the economy of Nigeria and not one that would destroy it. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Now, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar III, and Governor Ali Wamako of Sokoto State have advocated the creation of state police in the country to tackle insurgency. The two leaders spoke in Sokoto on Sunday when the Sultan paid the traditional Salah homage to the governor. Abubakar, who was the first to speak, said state governments were already spending huge sums of money to provide vehicles and security gadgets, among others, to security agencies in the country. Responding, Wamako said state police, when created, will assist in reducing difficulty currently faced by policemen often deployed to states other than theirs. Two senior advocates of Nigeria, Norrism Quakers and MJO Onigbajo, have dragged the People's Democratic Party and Ekiti State Governor-elect Ayodele Fauci to the National Human Rights Commission over alleged violation of their rights to practice as lawyers. In the petition dated September 29 and jointly signed by them, they claimed that the September 22 and 25 attacks on the Ekiti High Court by some suspected political thugs constituted threats to their lives. Quakers and Onigbajo are the lawyers to the litigants challenging Fauci's eligibility to contest in the June 21 governorship election addressed the petition to the Executive Secretary of the NHRC, Ben Angwe. In their petition, they urged the Rights Commission to use its wherewithal to investigate the attacks of the court. They insist the Commission should unearth those behind the shameful display and gross violation of human rights with a view of prosecuting them to justice. The petition has also accused the PDP of organizing political thugs and invaded the High Court premises on September 22 and attacked Justice Olusegun Okuyemi. The attackers reportedly regrouped on September 25 to disrupt the hearing of a petition challenging the election of Fauci. And now, fresh crisis has hit the Labour Party following last week's defection of Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko from the party to the People's Democratic Party. A group of party members represented by its National Publicity Secretary, Ikpe Etikudo, on Sunday dissociated themselves from the proposed national convention slated for October 11 in Akure, the Ondo State capital. However, National Chairman of the party, Dan Wanyam, revealed that Etikudo has since been relieved of his appointment and suspended from the party. According to him, there was no way a suspended member can act for and on behalf of the party in any capacity. A statement by Etikudo had advised all party members, especially those wishing to vie for elected positions on the platform of the party, not to patronize or have anything to do with the PDP-sponsored National Convention holding in Akure, Ondo State. He described the gathering as illegal, adding that anything that emanates from it will be null, void, and therefore of no consequence whatsoever. Trust politicians to cash in on opportunities. This is the story. The Osun State has ambitious members of the All Progressive Congress with eyes on the 2015 general elections seized the occasion provided by the Eid Cabrera celebration to thank their supporters and other party faithful for their support to Rauf Aregbesola during the August 9 governorship election. A correspondent, Rashid, encountered one of the party's member at Ilobu in Osun State and brought back this report.
Drawing party faithfuls from Oshogbo, Olorunda, Orodu, and the Irekpodun local government areas forming a federal constituency, the Itesiwaju group, one of the proponents of the re-election bid of Aregbesola, chose no better time than this festive period to celebrate the governor's victory. Not oblivious of the case at the election tribunal, this APC chieftain expresses confidence that Aregbesola will repeat his winning streak.
highly justice say anything against me unless you are able to prove it. If you make any allegation against me unless you are able to prove it. And I know what allegation made against Adekotola could never be proved. Who Adekotola will win.
The host and leader of Itesiwaji Group, Wole Alabi, also used the opportunity to declare his ambition for the House of Representatives under the APC come 2015.
If we keep doing the same thing the same way every time, we're going to get the same answer. So we need to change the way we do things, and I'm representing that change. So what we intend to do is to strengthen our party so that the party becomes an instruction of decision making. So we're going to bring change into every strategy of this government.
The fact that many other APC members, among them the incumbent Lassan Yusuf, have shown interest in the seat notwithstanding, Alabi believes his chance is bright in the primary and the election proper.
The masses are behind us. So they say one with God is a majority. The God Almighty is with us, irrespective of provocations, irrespective of attack. We are better physical or otherwise. We have resolved irrevocably to continue with this project. And it's a project that is supported by the masses and the Almighty.
Only time will tell if this victory party will be repeated by the group after the election in 2015. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Speaker of the Adamawa State House of Assembly, Pamoti Lowry, says agricultural production needs to be given adequate attention in order to revive the economic status of the people of the state. He says the PDP government, when voted into power, will encourage all farmers and youth in the state.
Initially, we are agro-based country. We are exporting our cocoa, our granules, our palm oil, rubber, and what have you. But where are they now? They have almost disappeared. We are so much putting emphasis on the white-collar job, government employment all over the place. Now, it's for us to change our orientation and change our system. Let us, ensure that, we encourage people. Let the government even put more money in buying this produce from the farmers. If you know, even if you don't sell this in the market, the government will buy it over from you. Of course, you'll be encouraged to go because you know you are not going to lose. If this attitude that you are not going to lose is imbibing us, you find that the people will now be trooping back to this farming so that they will now, be producing, and before you know it, we'll be exporting these foods, we'll be exporting this farm produce all over the world. And by the time we are exporting, now that means we're getting foreign currency, that means we are creating more employment, that means, of course, we are getting more money, and then before you know it, all these profits will be plowed back into developing our roads, developing our rural areas, open them up.
He also frowned at over-independence on government by the people and says the PDP government will strive to make the people of Adamawa State self-reliant.
In our system, people expect so much from government that they fold their hands and wait for government to even feed them. And definitely the whole of, you go around the world, you cannot see this kind of thing going on. All that the government have to do, is to assist you to achieve your aspirations, to make the environment conducive for you so as to operate. But if you come to our places, they expect a lot of things from the government, and that we have to change the orientation. It has to start from us. We have to be enterprise enough to sustain ourselves. Of course, the government have to provide the conducive environment for us to thrive. That is basically what the government has to do. But you don't expect the government to carry food and put it in your mouth.
You're watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We're back right after this short break. Stay with us.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Give me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
Glad to have you back now. A protesting factory workers of Lagos-based hair product manufacturing company have accused the management of its treatment of its staff, which they claim led to the death of one of their colleagues. The body of Atupo Wisdom, who, according to them, died Wednesday, September 24, was later discovered at the back of the company's premises. The angry workers say the death of their colleague is the last straw that has broken the camel's back. They decry bitterly the stringent measures used by the management to compel workers to perform their duties. Our correspondent Motayo Law has more.
They have not permitted to work. They are working illegal. When people are dying inside, this is illegal. Please, see what we bring from Alausa yesterday. See.
These workers are bent on taking their freedom by force from the management of Linda Manufacturing Company, even if it costs them their jobs. The unjust practice, according to them, has been on for a very long time.
The guy went before his group leader, and the group leader refused to give him permission, and that was what caused the death of this innocent guy.
How can you be working here? You are not permitted to go for a sick leave. Even if you tell them you are sick, they will tell you, oh, guy, if you no one work, stop work. What does that mean? It's in the Constitution I'm asking. Oh, guy, if you don't say you don't feel work, resign. It has happened to me and I'm a witness to it. We can be sacked for what we are doing, but I don't care. Even if I am sacked, but leaving a good legacy behind is what matters most. Please, I'm begging, for God's sake, come to our aid, please.
Right in front of the Shots Factory gate, the publicity secretary of the Campaign for Democracy and Workers, Chinedu Bosa, took out time to address them, promising legal action against the company.
I'm calling on the Fashola-led government to continue to seal this company until the management meets the demands of workers. And these are some of the demands. And true, they must end this piece rate work policy, where we are expected to meet a certain target. Even if you don't meet that target till 12 midnight, you are supposed to be in work till that very moment. For those who are nursing mothers, they can't go home to attend to their children. They must be in workplace until they meet their target. Sometimes those targets are as a result of their management's inability to provide the necessary tools and materials to work with. So sometimes they keep them here till 10 p.m. before they close.
Workers say they were tear-gassed every time they gathered to protest. They, however, say they are bent on seeking justice as the company didn't comply with the stop work order issued by the Lagos State Safety Commission. On a mission to inquire from the Lagos Safety Commission on why the seal order was not adhered to, a member of staff who attended to us on behalf of the Director General of the Commission, Dominga Odebomi, says the Commission cannot issue any statement on it now. The protesting workers have, however, vowed to seek justice. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Akpete community and outskirts in Ibadan, the Oyo State Council is calling on the state government to urgently complete the bridge linking it to its neighboring environments. CoreTV News Omotayo also recently undertake a journey to the area. Her report.
This resident is not pleased with the pace of work on the reconstruction of the bridge. He accused the government of taking residents for granted, while also pointing to the absence of contractors at the site as abandonment of the project.
If we look at this thing, they have abandoned this thing again. Are we going to say that there is no money in this country or there is no money in Oyo State? So let's just be realistic about everything we are doing. So everybody is a politician. So they are just trying to play politics against us. So we are wiser than all the whatever the talk they are saying.
The State's Commissioner for Works, Bolade, in his reaction stated that the government wants the best for its citizens, adding that it has no intention of depriving them of something that's important.
And we made a pledge that time that Akwete Bridge will become passable, by October. And the whole work will be completed by December. There's a close monitoring for the job that is going on there. Even the 3 beams that we are talking about, it was the ministry officials that went here and we noted, oh no, we will not allow this beam to be used because we are not just constructing a bridge, we are doing a first-class international standard project in that place, which we expect that, it will be there serving the people for a long time also.
Acknowledging the efforts of government so far on the bridge, the leader of the community commended the governor for rising promptly to the demands of the community by promising to provide all the necessary amenities in addition to completing the bridge under construction. He, however, prayed for the quick fulfillment of his promises.
What we need is to help us to complete all these things. Like the promise of the road leading to Akufo, that he will do it when they finish the bridge. We didn't see the hand on that road because the road from Akwete to Akufo is very worst, and we thank him very much for what he has been doing for us, because we don't expect this thing from his government. It was God that led him know the right thing and the right time to do it for the people of my area.
The collapsed bridge used to service residents of about 5 communities, including Ibadan Polytechnic, Akpete and Awoton. These areas are also largely populated by staff and students of the University of Ibadan. All that starts well should end well. The collapsed Akpete Bridge have of course raised a lot of controversy in this community. While government say they are making efforts to building a state-of-the-art bridge, residents say the construction is taking too much time. But their message to government is actually to expedite work and make this bridge come back to life as soon as possible. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
Deplorable state of roads at the Riverview Estate has been a major source of concern for residents, workers and those who have businesses in Isheri North for local government area of Ogun State. Emmanuel Ajay has more as reporters are presented from our studios. These residents and workers at Isheri North for local government area of Ogun State said the poor state of roads within their environs has crippled many businesses and also made life difficult.
If we carry 200 blocks from our side, before we go to the main road, we have damages of 20 or 30 blocks.
Can't even wash the car. When we wash the car, few minutes just to drive outside, the car will be very dirty.
Also speaking on our flagship program called Digest, Chairman Landlords and Residents Association, Riverview Estate, Akinde Abayomi says the bad state of the roads within Isheri North, especially Riverview Estate, is a major source of stress for residents and other visitors.
We took it upon ourselves to maintain the road filled with laterite, sometimes with stones, and we've been doing that over the years. But with the advent of rainy season, things got seriously bad. As we speak now, in fact, some parts of this road are so bad that small cars cannot even pass through. You need a jeep in order to move, on that road as we speak now.
He, however, says efforts made to put the road in good condition so far has not yielded any results.
This area, we have a peculiar problem because of the terrain, because of the soil nature here. We don't have good water. As an individual, you cannot sink a successful borehole here. Now, we wrote to the governor about this. He minuted the letter to the general manager, Ogun State Water Corporation. We've been following up. In fact, we said we are going to contribute for them to know, because they were saying, are we going to pay? We're not going to see it as a social service that we are not going to pay for. I said, we are willing to pay. We are going to pay. And to demonstrate our commitment, we task ourselves, we raised over 5 million naira as counterpart funding, so to say. You know, for them to know that we are going to pay. Take this money. We have the money in the account. That we are not looking for free service. We just want the Ogun State Water Corporation, the government, through the Ogun State Water Corporation, to provide us water, no roads. Everything is in complete shambles.
He called on the Ogun State government to do more in putting infrastructure in place, devoid of any consideration. And that does it now for CoreTV News on the hour. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.